everyone, it's JoJo from Mojo Jojo Plants, and today I'm going to be doing some spreads for some of my patrons over on my top tier over on Patreon. Today we're going to be doing spreads for Adita and Beth, so let's go ahead and dive right on in. Alright, the first spread we're going to be working on is for Adita, and she requested a rose and cherry spread, so I went online and I found some pictures of some roses and some cherries and put them together through Procreate on my iPad, and then had my Cricut print them out. So I did them on clear sticker paper. So let's go ahead and see. Of course, I had to make some corner florals because I love my corner florals. They are an absolute must. So I made two nice big corner florals because I knew this was going to go in a big size, so I did make them pretty big. I think if these were in a classic, they definitely would swallow the page. But I did make them pretty big on purpose because I knew they were going to be going in a big spread. I also have a couple of little pieces in here. I did do flat pieces that I can do in random spots. I'm not ready for that one yet, but I'm going to go in with Spring 2.0 because there's a really pretty light pink. I know Adita likes to have some boxes, so I am going to go in and start adding a couple boxes. I'm choosing this light pink because in these roses there is a really light color, so I feel like this will work really well. If I can get these in here without ruining them. I do have one more with lines, so I am going to go ahead and use that. And I want to make sure I'm leaving her some space for some pictures if she uses it for memory planning. So I'm going to go in. Right now we're just getting in the roses. I haven't really gotten in anything else just yet. But we're going in with all the pretty roses, and then we'll start adding in the cherries and stuff. But I do want to get in some of these roses, and I might kind of change how I did them because the files that I got didn't have a lot of options for roses as far as like they weren't individual. Like, I kind of had to just deal with what I had, so I might change this up a little bit just so I can change the way it's laying on the page. That way it doesn't look the exact same as the other side because I don't want them to look the same. So I'm going to lay that right in there. I did cut off a little chunk of that. Okay, so now let's get in some of our cherries. Let's see if I can get these ones up on by myself. Don't know if I can. Okay, we can. We're good. Okay, I'm going to do some layering. These cherries are really pretty. I think they were like called like watercolor cherries or something like that. Something along those lines. But I just printed them in some different sizes. I did a couple with some little stems and like little leaves. So having a Cricut for this is like the best thing. Obviously you can do the same thing and just cut them out, but I'm really impatient, so cutting out things has never been my strong suit just because I'm impatient. So there's that. Okay, I have Amber Planter Days Black Quotes Volume 2. I'm going to go in and just add some really pretty quotes. I do want to take a big quote. This one says, "Your feelings are valid." A nice big quote in here. Again, I don't want to take up all the space because I want to make sure I leave her room if she wants to put some photos in there, but I do want to add a couple of some quotes. So I'm just kind of seeing what I have in here. Let's do this, live your best life. I'm going to grab this one and stick this right in here. Okay. And then I'm just going to go in with the rest of all the little cherries that I made. I'm going to hang this one from some of those. Definitely need more cherries over on this side because we don't have a ton. I do have another floral that we could add. I feel like I want to put a box near this one though because it's flat. So I'm going to go back in here. It's not going to be a whatchamacallit, a box with lines, but even just putting in a box for that to be near. And then again, I'm just going to go in with my cherries. Do the cherry on top. I was trying to get them so like I could somehow like hang some from in, and I'm glad I found cherries and like roses that went, like the colors look good together, and at least like my printer printed them nicely together, because that was something I was kind of worried about, but they actually printed out really nice to where I feel like they work together really nicely. Okay, I only have a couple more cherries, so I'm just going to use the rest, because why not? Just got to figure out where to put them. Again, I want to make sure I'm leaving some room. This one right up here. Then we have one more double cherry. I'm going to put this up here at the top, in the corner, since it's undated, and then she'll still be able to put her month right there. All right, there we go. I love how it turned out. Cherries and roses, who knew? But I'm, like I said, I'm really glad, like these just like match really, really nicely together, and I feel like these look really, really pretty together. But there we go. I am going to punch it because otherwise I will forget, and then I'll send it to her unpunched, which that's no fun. So I want to make sure I get it punched. I'm pushing it all the way back. And then I'm just going to go in with my handy dandy puncher and punch it so it's all ready to go in her planner. But there we go, Adita. I so hope that you enjoy your spread. Let's go ahead and move into our next one. Okay, the next spread I have is for Beth, and she sent me some gorgeous pictures of some Texas wildflowers, and these are just so stinking, like, look at that. Like, I want to see that in person. So pretty. But I kind of have them laid out how I'm thinking before I like go buck wild and go crazy. I think I'm going to go ahead and add in my boxes first, so that way I can give her a few spots to journal. I don't need to give her a ton, but I do want to make sure I give, you know, a little bit of space to get some journaling in. So I don't know if that's mine. Let's see. I don't know if I have. Okay, I do. I have a couple. So I'm actually going to use black because I'm going to use black as my accent. And then I found some florals from a sticker book that are like the same colors, like this blue and orange, which I thought was really fun. But I think I'm going to focus black as my main color for box purposes. So I'm just going in with some black boxes, gonna lay these in here, and then the rest of the space will kind of be able to just decorate. I had to hop around a couple of different books to find the sizes that I was looking for, but I think we got it. So I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm just doing a few boxes in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and start laying down my pictures. Now, something I wanted to do was kind of give some of these pictures a border. Not all of them, but some of them I wanted to give a little bit of a border. So I'm actually going to be taking my big black boxes, and I'm going to pull out some of the full boxes here. And I'm going to stick my pictures on them, just so that way it gives it like a little bit of a border. So I'm kind of going to see like where do I need to put this to make sure it's in the spot that I want it to be in. I'm going to lay down my black box, and then I'm going to take my photo and place it right on top, so that way it has a border on 3 of the sides. I just think sometimes it makes it look a little bit nicer than just slapping down the picture. So I think I'm going to do that for a couple of the ones that are floating around by themselves. So that would be this one as well. And again, I'm trying to like do all the things that need to be done prior to decorating. That way I can make sure I have room, and then I'll decorate around the rest, which I feel like I can make room in lots of different spots. But it's just a fun way to add a little bit of a different look to the pictures just by giving them a little bit of a border. So I'm going to do the same thing with this double wide piece and this double wide one. And now you could totally cut down the picture a little bit, so that way you have a lot more of the whatchamacallit showing, but I kind of like sometimes just having it on a few sides available. Do think it looks nice. So just gonna leave 2 sides open and then lay that down. Okay, and because these 2 are going to be layering on top of each other, I don't think I'm going to do those 2. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just get these ones laid down and to see where I need to put it. These ones in here. Okay, so that side is good to go. Now we got to go back and do the other side. Again, I have a single. I might add one of these ones over there too, because there's a lot going on that side. But I am going to add this right in here. I'm going to make sure it's far enough over to where I don't accidentally punch it, because anything along this edge is going to be punched. So I want to make sure I'm not too far over. Oop. All of these I think are going to be layered on top of. Trying to get like one more by itself. So I think I'm going to put this puppy one over on the other side. Cool. And then that leaves me room to maybe put a little blurb or even for decoration. But then I can do that same thing with that one, which will be good. So I'm going to go ahead, lay the rest of the pictures in here and to get them placed where I want them to go. Ooh. This one up slightly, that way I have room. Take this one, lay it in here, and then get my last picture down. There we go. So all our pictures are down on the spread. Now the fun part, we get to decorate. I do have some spaces where I can add like a little extra box just for a little blurb. So I'm going to add just a few. Won't do a ton. I do want to leave some room for decorating. Okay, just like so. All right, so the book that I found those colors in is actually Posh Fall. As soon as I saw these, I was like, I know there's stickers that are those colors, and they're right here. But I thought these ones would be fun just because they are along the same like colors. Probably definitely not the same florals, but at least the same kind of colors, which I think is fun. So I'm going to go ahead and just start sticking these all over to decorate this space. We have some big ones, some smaller ones. There's a fly in here. I'm like, I don't know. It like went right in front of me. I don't know if it like went into the camera, but that was kind of funny. Oh, now it's like by my ear. What is the purpose of flies? Why? They're here to annoy. That's literally it. It keeps like literally going by the camera, so sorry in advance if there's random buzzing. Perks of summertime, I guess. Or getting close to summer. I think I'm gonna do a little bit. Well, I like this space. This space over here will be nice. But I have this spot up here. So I'm actually gonna hold these together. And I'm gonna put a floral in there, and then when we cut it, we'll cut that so that way it just, you know, works out better. I do have one more on this page. And I will have finished another page of stickers. An accomplishment. I'm going to kind of do the same thing down here at the bottom. That right down there. Okay. Just getting some of these florals in here. Do have another page of them, so add a little bit more. I see only like one more spot. And then I might add a quote if I can fit some quotes in here. So I'm gonna add that right in here. Might need some like itty bitty quotes, but we can see. Oh, you know what I should use? I'm gonna grab spring collections from Amber Plants Her Day because I know there are a ton of spring quotes in here. Just want like the spring vibe quotes. So we have like celebrate spring. This is a really good one. Celebrate spring. Like this, always growing. Gosh, I cannot see like the ends of these for the life of me. Always growing. Sorry. I moved. I'm just seeing like if there's any small ones kind of thing. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Really just looking for quotes that fit. So I'm like looking for smaller. Okay. Have the first spring collections too. This life is beautiful is a nice small quote. So I feel like that one will work if I can not completely rip it. That would be great. This life is beautiful. Just seeing what quotes I have left in these books. Looking for all the spring quotes. This is a good, another like smallish quote. We can just add and fill in some space. I have some space right down here. This one's a good one. It's a nice small. Sunshine is the best medicine. Cool. All right, there we go. I think that's good. I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half where it needs to be cut. There's only 2 spots on this one. I need to cut it. Alrighty, we're going to fold them in on each other, make sure they're the same exact way. Trim off any little pieces that might have been hanging over on the edges. Looks like I have a couple, so I'm going to go in and trim those off real quick so I don't forget. And then I'm going to punch it. Slide that in, line it up, make sure it's pushed all the way back against the back of it, and then punch. And voila! Wildflower spread. I love how this one turned out. It's so pretty. There we go, Beth. I so hope that you love your spread. Alrighty, and there we go. 2 completely different spreads. I love how both of them turned out. Adita and Beth, I so hope that you love them, and I so hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you in my next one. Bye!